let's try this again, shall we? I filmed this once and it was blurry, and then I tried again and I forgot to press record. Third time's the charm or whatever. Hello everybody, it's Friday. I am glad it is. This week has gone by really quickly. It's been a bit rough, not personally, just, you know, all the stuff in the news this week, and it just feels like the world is on fire again. Kind of literally, because it's been really hot, but just all the other stuff going on, and I've been rather upset by it and trying to escape into books, which I have to say is not something I'm the best at. I usually find that anything I read, I can somehow connect to what's going on in the world, and it's hard for me to get so absorbed into something that I stop thinking about everything else going on, but I've been trying really hard. So anyway, I thought I would just update you quickly on what I'm currently reading and my Tome Topple plans. I'm jumping in a little bit late with that because I forgot that it started today. Should have filmed this yesterday and it did not. But anyway, what I am currently reading first, these are the things that I hope to finish over the weekend before I start getting seriously into Tome Topple reading. So my favorite thing that I'm reading right now is The Calculating Stars by Mary Robinette Kowal. This is the first book in her Lady Astronaut of Mars duology. It comes out on Tuesday, and I am devouring this. I'm loving it. I haven't felt this much just like pure joy while reading a book in quite a while. I could not really tell you what it is other than there are just so many little elements in this book that it works. And I like the representation, and I like the topics, I like the character, I like the premise. It's pushing all of my buttons in the best way possible, and I need everybody to read this book so that I can talk to you about it. We can have a conversation or something, and I need the sequel right away as well. So I have about 150 pages left. I will definitely finish this today on Friday evening because I don't want to do anything else except for read this book right now. Then I have been reading The Big Over Easy by Jasper Fforde and If on a Winter's Night a Traveler by Italo Calvino. I started these last weekend, I think, and I've just been reading little bits of them here and there. Both of these are good. I just think I haven't quite been in the mood for either of them, so I will keep chipping away at them and see what I think. And then I am doing Tome Topple. I've been aware of this readathon for a couple of years now. I just never really thought about doing it, but I saw Sam from Thoughts on Tome's announcement, and it was perfectly timed because this year my unofficial goal that I've not really been talking about because I don't really want to jinx myself is to really reduce my physical TBR. I'm tired of having so many unread books. I'm tired of feeling guilty about them, and so I have been really paying attention to whittling that list down. But I've mainly focused on the shortest books on my bookshelves because they're the fastest to read and to get out the door and everything. But with Tome Topple, the idea is to actually make the time to focus on really big books that are over 500 pages long. And it's also a 2-week readathon, which just seemed like really doable for me. So I decided to participate in round 6, and I have 3 books, a little over 2,000 pages actually, that I want to get read in the next 14 days, which is doable. I mean, this is quite ambitious, but for me, I think I'm actually staying within reasonable bounds of what I can actually do. So the first one is The Margarets by Sherry S. Tepper. This book is 509 pages long. It doesn't seem like that because it's a mass market paperback, but it actually is. This is one of Tepper's books that I'm most looking forward to. It's been recommended to me and I've heard a lot of people speak really highly of it actually. People seem to have a fondness for it. So I'm going to be buddy reading this with Joe over at Final Blow Joe because that's just what we do with Tepper these days. I'm not actually participating in any of the challenges for Tome Topple, by the way. I may do some of them, like I think there's a buddy reading one which this fits, but I'm not making it a point to do the challenges as well. So I will be starting to read this on Friday as well for my buddy read. My second pick is The Moon and the Other by John Kessel. This was an impulse purchase when I was at Malaprop's bookstore in Asheville back in April when I was on vacation. I've heard of it before. I know it's been mentioned like a ton on the Coode Street podcast. The hosts of that podcast apparently love this book. I don't know what it's about. There's no description on the back of this, and I haven't really heard anybody else talk about it or review it, so I'm going in pretty blind. This one is almost 600 pages long, but it has a very generous typesetting. There's a lot of space between the lines, so I think it will actually be pretty quick to read. It's very attractive typesetting, I have to say. There's something about really nice fonts and typefaces and stuff in books that makes them easier to read, I think. Like it's so pleasant to read, to look at, that it goes by faster. Does that happen to anybody else, or is it just me? And then my last pick is the big chunker. This is the longest book on my physical TBR. It is also probably the longest book I will read this year. And that is Green Earth by Kim Stanley Robinson. This is 1,069 pages, I think. Yes. So this is, if you know anything about this book, you might think that it doesn't count for Tome Topple because it is an edited version of the Science in the Capital trilogy, but this version, the one called Green Earth, is actually one book. Robinson took his original trilogy, he edited the books, he updated them, and then he condensed them into a single volume. Like, he actually deleted material and edited it down by quite a bit. So it's huge, but it is not an omnibus, so it counts. And even if I don't finish this, I will feel good if I get like halfway through it, because it's a beast, and I've been putting it off for like 2 years, I think, since I got it. It's high time that I read it. So that is it for me this Friday and my Tome Topple plans. I will try to remember to update you. With it being 2 weeks, I can probably do another Friday Reads video and actually let you know how I am doing with reading like 150 pages per day just for Tome Topple. And then all the other things I'll probably be picking up and reading too, because am I good at reading only one book at a time? No, I'm not. I should stop babbling now, and I'll talk to you again later, and until then, bye.